Good afternoon, Dawn here, and I'm going to talk about today. It's on women's ministry that I found in the Bible, and it's about Elisha and the oil jars. And then I'll talk to you a little bit at the end about some of the meaning of what happened in the story, okay? So here, Elijah and the oils, and it can be found in 2 Kings 4:1-7, and that's where the story begins. So, I hope you're comfortable. It's not a very long story, but it's an informative story that I think women can use in their daily lives. Okay? All right. So, it starts out this way. The wife of a man from a company of the prophets cried out to Isaiah. Isaiah was a prophet. Your servant, my husband, is dead. And you know that he reverenced the Lord. But now his creditor is coming to take my two boys, as slaves. And they did that back then. They took the boys as slaves if they couldn't pay their debt. Elisha replied to her, saying, How can I help you? Tell me what to do and what you have in your house, Elisha said. So that's one of the things that we could always do, is find things in our house. So Elisha told her, What do you have in your house? Your servant has nothing, she replied. Nothing at all, except a small jar of olive oil. And they used olive oil back then. It was very popular then. Elisha said, Go round and ask your neighbors for an empty jar. It could be any kind of empty jar. Don't ask just for a few. Then go inside and shut the door behind you and your sons. Pour the oil into jars as each jar was filling up, and put it on the side. So they'd fill up the jars with olive oil, and then they'd put it aside. But when all the jars were full, she said to her son, Bring me another. But he replied, There is not a jar left. So they used all the jars that they had and filled them all up with olive oil. Then the oil stopped running. It stopped flowing. So each jar with that little oil that she had, she would fill the jars up with. Then she went to tell the man of God, and he said, Go, sell the oil and pay for your debt. Because when her husband died, he left her with a big debt, and that's why they wanted to take the boys to sell them as slaves. You and your sons can live on what is left. Stay out of debt. So that's what they did. They were in so much debt that she was worried that she was going to lose her boys. So with that debt, she was able to fill all these jars up with olive oil and to sell them and to pay off her debt. So what is that? Well, we all go through problems. We do. There's not every year where everything is fine and dandy and I know so many people that are praying for, help me, Lord, financially. I need to pay my rent. I need to pay my utilities. And sometimes what happens is we get debt we're in so much debt we can't pay for our bills or provide food in our homes for our children. So the one thing that we can do is try to stay out of debt. Don't take out lots of loans to go buy something new or take a vacation. If you don't have the money, don't do it. Stay out of debt. Keep a budget. Keep a budget of how much your rent is, how much your electric, your gas, your garbage, your water, and how much your food is too. That's very important. So make sure you write out a budget on how much you spend every month, and then also how much money you have coming in, whether it's from work or a side job. And side jobs do help. Just like this woman. She didn't have a job and her husband died. So Elisha told her to take the little bit of oil that she had and multiply it. And that's what happened to me one time. You know, I during the pandemic, I lost my job. I was teaching. I lost my job, I lost my pay, and all these bills were coming in, just like this woman. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Well, I wasn't very prepared. So this is why I'm telling you. Prepare yourself. List all your bills that you have. And if you need to, if you have creditors, contact your creditors and work with them to pay down the bills. Now, I'm almost paid off on all my bills. I worked with my creditors to help lower my payments, something that I could afford, and to get them paid down. I may have maybe a year left. So, but I was really in debt, and this is why I want to tell you, as women, this is what you can do. So I had different things that I did. I worked online to teach. I worked at the hospital. I sold things that were around my house. I had lots of toys left. So I sold a lot of toys too. And other articles that I had laying in my home. Whether it be on eBay, on Etsy, on Amazon, even Facebook. So if you have extra things laying around and you need to have extra money, those are good places to sell to get money. And you either drive to them, set up a place to meet with them to get your money, or like on Facebook and Amazon, you can ship it to them. So that's another way you can do it. But remember, tragedy always happens when you least expect it. But if God speaks to you, listen. If he tells you, hey, this is what you can do, listen to what God is saying. Have faith in God, because, remember, God never leaves you or forsakes you, and he's going to get you through this. So I want you to have faith too, that he knows what you're going through. Don't think that he doesn't. He does. He knows every little bit of every little hair on you, everything you do. He already knows. He knows that way ahead of you do. So listen to what he's saying, okay? And he will get you through these times of trouble. So have faith, keep a budget, and if you go over the budget, think of ways that you can bring that extra income in, even like DoorDash. or going and shopping for somebody. Those are other areas too. But I will have more information on women's ministry next week. So until then, have a great day.